Good day, everyone. I am Sunshine Izacha, a second year PED student of North Sushatin campus. So today, we will be learning about the psychological basis, focusing on gene-lab situated learning. This is under the Unit 2, Basis and Policies of Special and Inclusive Education. In this video, we will only focus on gene-lab situated learning. But before we discuss what is situated learning, let me give you some background information about Jean Lave. Jean Lave is a professor emerita in the Department of Geography. She is a social anthropologist with a strong interest in social theory. Much of her ethnographically based research concentrates on the reconceiving of learning, learners, and everyday life in terms of social practice. She is well known as a co-author with Etienne Wenger of Situated Learning, Legitimate Peripheral Participation. Situated learning. From the word itself, we are putting our student in a situation for them to learn. So it is a learning that takes place in the same context in which it is applied. So for example, you want your student to learn how to cook. So you will let them experience cooking in the kitchen, and the students will try the skills they have learned in their homes or in their community. So try to look at this photo. It's not their ordinary classroom where the teacher is only lecturing, then the students are passive listeners. Because in real life, we're not only sitting on our chair thinking, listening to our instructor or to our teacher. No, because in real life, what we are doing is we actually show to our students or we actually act into something. So um, we let them experience or we will let them learn the basic skills they have to learn. Situated learning also places students in authentic learning situations where they are actively immersed in an activity while using problem solving or critical thinking skills. The highlight is problem solving and critical thinking. More of life skills. Another highlight is authentic learning. So, what is authentic learning? These are the kinds of learning that are not intended in pedagogical. Another is situated learning involves social community which replicates real world situations. More likely, you want your students to be engaged in the society they are in. Next slide. Let's proceed to the next slide. So this is an example of an authentic or situated learning. In the first picture, the students are trying to cook. So we want them to teach cooking. So you let them experience cooking. Of course, with the proper guidance. So i-apply pa rin natin ang kay Lev Vygotsky na may guidance. The next picture, which the Japanese students cleaning their classroom. So the teacher are teaching their students how to clean a house. Well, it's practical skills indeed. In that way, they will know how to clean the house and its way of living. Dito nanggagaling yung basis ng mga special education kasi kung napapansin nyo sa mga sped school, mga itsura ng classroom nila ay may parang bahay, may sala, may kusina. So what they want to implicate parang they are teaching their students how to live life kasi nga they have special needs eh. So you have to cope up with these special needs or you have to cope with this special needs. So let's proceed to the next slide. So now let's proceed to the key features of situated learning. So first, it is based on social-cultural theory. Situated learning theory embraces a social-cultural view of learning. It sees knowledge as being defined and agreed upon by society or community. So for example, if you want to learn to be a doctor, then learn from doctors. You'll never learn on your own. If you want to learn how to fix cars, spend time with mechanics. So that's how it works. Second is learning should take place in communities of practice because knowledge is socially co-constructed by a community. The only way to learn is to learn from others. Talking and listening to others can help you learn what information is important to society and how society views certain topics. Lave and Wenger 1991 say that there are some communities of practice who all share the same knowledge. The typical community of practice is a group of professionals who share a craft. Some examples of communities of practice are lawyers. Lawyers will know how to navigate legal issues, what things to say in the court of law, how to initiate and settle court cases, and etc. This is knowledge and shared by their community of practice. Next is educators. As an educator, this is my community of practice. Things we know about include pedagogy, identifying learning disabilities, how to get the best out of the students, and how to develop a curriculum. Let's proceed to the third. Learners start out as legitimate peripheral participants. Lave and Wenger argue that learning should take place through an apprenticeship model. In their teaching method, students are embedded in real-world contexts. They follow actual practitioners around to observe their practice and learn from them through guided practice, or what Barbara Rogoff calls cognitive apprenticeships. The apprentices are what Lave and Weiner call legitimate peripheral participants. This term shows that when you start out, you are in the outside of the community of practice. You are not a central member of the community. When you're starting out, you might do low risk, easy achievable tasks that are valuable to the community but not the most complex or difficult tasks. As you gain experience and competence, you'll start assuming more and more responsibility and becoming a more and more central member of the community of practice. So let's proceed to number four. So this is the last key features of situated learning. Learners slowly become full members of the community of practice. Each community of practice has its own rules or structures for progressing from peripheral to full participation. In a traditional apprentice-mentor relationship, it is the mentor who has control over the gradual release of responsibility to the apprentice. The mentor controls the level of participation and the pace of progression. In more formal contexts, progression may be structured through formal testing, accumulation of time, such as number of hours practicing, or the age. Now, let's proceed to the implications for classroom practice. Situated learning theory or SLT may seem like a learning theory best suited for adults, apprentices, or cultures where learning takes place outside of the classroom. However, teachers who like this approach may be able to use some of its ideas to develop their own classroom teaching strategies. So here are some ways how educators can use SLT include. First is school excursions, encouraging students to take internships or mentorship roles in the local community to make the most of experiential learning contexts. Students should be given opportunities to shadow practitioners as they complete their daily tasks. Next is school incursions. Having community members come into the classroom to share how they do things and vocabulary from their profession. The third is learning through doing. Focus on project or phenomenon based learning where students learn by doing real world problem solving tasks rather than learning from books. So this is very popular to college students, no? Learning by doing. Next or last is act as mentors. Educators can take on mentorship role in which the students become apprentices in their practice. For example, students can come along to attend adult meetings and listen in on how the meetings are conducted and decisions are made. Here, the students become legitimate peripheral participants. Alright, I guess that's all for this video. Again, I am Sunshine Izacha, a second year B.Ed from North Shatten Campus. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!